What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode and edition of the Fight Factory Wrestling Podcast right here from the Richard Lucas Chevrolet and Subaru studio in Matawan, New Jersey, a.k.a. Chop Studios. For all your social medias and creations and podcasting needs, come see me because I'm the only one who works here. Dave Sturchio alongside Tommy D, the neighborhood gas man over here. And, of course, we have, well, you're not Chris Payne.
Listen, bro, I'm fucking angry right now. There's fucking traffic on the way over here. These fucking toys I gotta sell.
All right, Chris Payne is here. Tommy Tequila in there.
How was that?
That was good. It was good.
You just missed one thing.
You should work on your delivery.
It sucks.
Yeah, the whole thing is stupid. So, yeah, Chris Payne on assignment, a.k.a. he's got a one-on-one match with Mickey Mouse. So he is down there doing his thing. Oh, Star Wars, bro. All right, I'm on the Galaxy Guardian thing. And then I went to this. I got the Fast Pass. And blah, 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 blah. Like,
You know
whatever.
what they got me for to build this fucking lightsaber?
Chase wants three different lightsabers.
It's the chair. I feel so angry. I like it.
The chair is bringing it out of you.
I love how he says to us, nope, nobody called in for a wellness check. That's what I said to him. I'm like, dude, we know you're fine. I'm more worried about everybody else's reason.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Anyway, the show is being sponsored by Arthur Cantina Wine and Spirits.
He got it.
Yay! So yes, our friends over there in the Bronx, New York, where these beloved Yankees are from, get all your booze there. They're proud sponsors of the War on the Shore 2 as we get closer and closer. I believe we're 90 days away from the biggest event in professional wrestling history in New Jersey again. we're trying to redo and re-up our own shit from last year. Also want to give a special shout out to Savvy Seats, who are hooking everybody up with those WrestleMania tickets. You can get 10% off of that $10,000 ticket by going to Savvy Seats and entering Fight Factory 10 at checkout. 10% off your purchase. WrestleMania, boys, we're here. We have made it. WrestleMania season is officially over. We have one more stop, and that's on SmackDown on Friday, and I think that's going to be full of fun stuff. Probably one more interaction between Cody and John Cena. Are they in Vegas? They are in Vegas already, right? Everybody's in Vegas.
You got SmackDown, and you got the
Sweet
Hall of Fame.
Sweet. Oh, yeah, the Hall of Fame, which starts at 1 a.m. Eastern time on Friday night. Who's going to be up? This guy.
They're trying to keep it a secret? What the fuck?
Yeah, right. I don't know. That's very funny because it's like
I seriously think now with the streaming service, like with Peacock and everything, time doesn't mean shit to them.
It doesn't. And you know what? In my mind, I'm thinking I might watch Triple H's speech with breakfast the next morning. You know what I mean? I can watch it whenever I want. So I'm not so concerned, and that's why I shout out to Meltzer, who considers ratings to still be a thing out there, because nobody really cares about watch time and ratings. It's all being consumed right there at the fingertips, no matter what you're doing.
The back of the house. How do you go from SmackDown to that, and then you have WrestleMania day one? You know what I mean? Your bandwidth has to be that's fucking crazy.
Some people have built up a Tommy, you literally stink. I'm sorry, that shit was potent. That you officially shut down. I went to Disney World once upon a time when I was 8. When I was 8 years old, I went to Disney World.
That segue was fucking epic. Oh my god!
It's my eyes are tearing up, dude. It's funny. I went down to Disney World with my best friend John, God rest his soul, and his entire family. Right, we had a great time down in Disney World when I was little. And I'm the only one. I took a dump, I guess, when I was 8. And when we were at one of the parks, I guess there was a thing called the Living Seas or whatever. And his dad made a joke it's shut down. I said, why? He's like, did you see what you did to the bathroom? So that I feel like you're right on brand.
Shout out to Insano Labs birthday cake protein.
First of all, they're not sponsoring anybody, so I will never buy anything from those guys because of what you
studio.
just did. No.
I thought a dead animal came out of you.
They cleared the studio out. Thank God. I just had my friend Seth here, a photographer from the Staten Island show, was here right before you got here, and we were just chit-chatting, right, about things he can do for us and help us out. And thank God you left, or thank God he left, because if you would
nothing in Oregon smells like that.
I feel terrible.
It smells like Staten Island, actually.
Or flies in this place because they're all dead now. Anyway, to wrestling, right? WrestleMania week. I'm sorry, I had to cut myself off because I'm like, this is brutal. Oh, my fucking God.
Gotta open a window in this bitch.
No, I might have to, and I never want to, but I might actually have to light a fucking candle.
I think you have one in here, don't you?
I don't know. It's probably Gooch's or Ashley's or one. It's like, it's pumpkin. I love it. And like Taylor loves it, so I love it. So anyway.
Never forget that walking in here.
Shout
Why
out
does
to
it
those
smell
guys.
like a girl's bathroom in here.
Yeah, well, no, it's funny because I had a client the other day come in here and was like, oh, Dave, bathroom looks great, man. This is great. And I'm like, hell yeah, it's because I got women working here now. No offense. I'm just saying I'd like to keep it a little cleaner. You
There's
know?
girls here now.
Where are the fucking females? So anyway, wrestling, all right? Speaking of wrestling fans with no females, WrestleMania season. Yeah, so I'm excited. WrestleMania is here. Again, to me, and maybe I could pitch this off to you guys, the build and the hype. Little on the lackluster.
The build and the hype is pretty much what I laid in here. Shit.
You really fucking did.
I'm excited by it. I'm excited that it is.
Because now you
wouldn't
have
call
low
it-
expectations and they can exceed them fast.
Yes,
Okay.
but I wouldn't call it lackluster. I think the character development has been great this year. I think every single person on the card knows exactly who they are. But with that, the actual, like, a lot of things feel thrown together. Like, a lot of things feel thrown together.
Bro, I feel like Bailey and her partner,
And Lyra, yeah, that makes-
they're just like, oh, by the way, we're a tag team. We're going for the titles now. It's like, what? Like, what? Okay, great. That's awesome for them. And it's good to get Bailey on the show. But it's just crazy when I look at the card.
Especially the year that Lyra had. She had a great year,
So
man.
why don't you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why can't you have? You tell me there's no room for? I mean, first of all, there's like 48 matches and shit. Like, are you telling me there's no room for like a women's ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship or something like that?
Chelsea
where you can?
Green's not on the card.
What? Oh my God!
Remember the pre-show?
Oh my God.
Remember the pre-show matches that they
Chelsea
used
Green
to
is
have?
not on the
The
card.
most over
Right?
woman on the roster is not on.
She's stolen the camera on everything she's done over the last year. Even Piper with her Secret Service stuff.
Secret Service?
They've stolen the show.
Yeah, but remember
Fuck.
back in the day, they always had the pre-show matches. You know what I mean? It
You
was
can't
almost the
possibly.
program before the program.
Yeah, but you're gonna put her on the pre-show? It's a slap in the face at this point. There's fucking 19 matches. No bullshit.
Anything on a pre-show now, I feel is a slap in the face.
All right, listen. When
The tag team champions are not on the card.
who?
The Street Profits are not on the card.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean that's crazy talk. That is literally, and like I know the card, but like when you start bringing up guys that aren't on it, I'm like, wait a
So
minute.
now I
time
ask
out.
this question to you. So WrestleMania 39 was Vince's WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Pretty popular, right?
39.
WrestleMania 39 was Vince's. WrestleMania 40 was Vince's storylines. This WrestleMania is all Triple H. And does it
Now,
I'm not
feel a
putting this
little
on Triple
underwhelming to
H.
you? Or?
and now here's where I see it as,
You can't.
and
put
this
it
is
on
why I
Triple
focus on the
H.
character development. Everyone has their identity, and it shows you the level of WrestleMania where there are people like the Street Profits, like Chelsea Green, like Karrion Kross, like Sami Zayn.
Well, Cross
that
has
are not-
chosen to go fight people at Bloodsport this year, by the way. So
But there are people that are not on the card, and that shows you the level of the storytelling for what is on the card. And every time there's been a pay-per-view, you're like, I'm not going to watch this one. Like, I'm not really invested in it. That's the pay-per-view that blows it away. That's where it's always
we've
like,
seen that.
whoa.
We've seen that.
I
We're
didn't
like
see
at
that
the end of the
coming.
year, and it's like TLC. It's like I'm not watching TLC. Who cares? But then like you'll see a banger of a match. We're like, whoa, did not expect that at all.
And that's why
And
I'm
there are a
excited.
couple matches on the card that I think are flying under the radar that could be absolute bonkers good, right?
Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky.
I feel like Io Sky's been like the doormat of that shit.
Yes, the
of that.
sloppiest build. It makes no sense. I hate all of it. But that match can steal the show.
So now, all right. So now, here's a little bit of a.
Cargill's going to be making an appearance in that.
Well, Jade Cargill's got her own thing with Naomi.
Yeah, but I think Jade's
But like,
going
all right,
to
so
cost
all right, so
Bianca.
here's my.
That's where that story's going to start now.
Like point counterpoint thing, right? Like we have all collectively gotten on AEW about the fact that like every Wednesday it feels like an independent show where it's like a bunch of fantasy matchups with no story. What are we looking at WrestleMania? A lot of fantasy matchups with not a lot of good story. It's not. I'm not saying that's the recipe for success or failure, but I'm saying like a match like Jacob Fatu and fucking LA Knight. You're telling me they couldn't do something a little bit more with these guys? Again, like Jacob Fatu is going to be a superstar right? He's already on the come up. He's already there. He's already doing his thing. LA Knight, great talker, great performer in the ring. But you didn't make me fucking get invested in that like they usually do.
See, for that one, I'm sorry, Tommy.
Yeah, well, for that, I don't think the story is really Fatu and LA Knight. I think the story is what's going to come in that match after.
Whole card. I think it's the whole card
with Solo. It's almost like these matches are like cannon fodder for the stories that they're going to start going forward with other people.
It is a rebuilding year.
Yeah,
it is. I just lost the Heisman winner. You know what? I'm not going to have a losing season. I'm going to do all right. I'm going to have a stacked recruiting class. And this year, going to be a little bit of a wash. And I'm going to win a national championship next year.
I hate that only for the sole purpose of they went to Vegas and they charged out the ass for this. And now you gave them this. Like I just got, again, our buddy Seth was here. He's like, why aren't you in Vegas? And I was like, because I chose to be here.
Just have a mortgage.
Well, that too. I got bills to pay. No, but like I could have went out there to cover it with Triller and all this other shit. I could have got myself out there, but I'm like, well, for this card, like last year, it was banger after banger after banger after banger, and I'm like, all right, this is all great. And again, WrestleMania could definitely deliver next year or this year.
What were the top two things going into WrestleMania last year?
The story, right, which they built to shit, and like,
but of the it was top heavy. It was The Rock, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Was there anything else? And the special guest referee for whatchamacallit last year. But that's
a lot. Listen, a lot was.
Those are the top two things you were talking about. So if you compare it, wrestling has always been like boxing, where it's Floyd Mayweather and the busboy from the Win. So
that's really funny.
So I think that it's always been top heavy. I think that there's, because of the price point, because of it being in Vegas, it's a different animal. And Vegas is a sports town. It's not a wrestling town.
That's what I also said. I said that today on the Wrestling Hour by myself, as Josh is out there in Vegas. I had to do it myself. But I said, I was like, all the cities that these guys visit, talking about WWE and WrestleMania, it's a weekend venue type city that blows up. Like if you go to Dallas, if you go to Hollywood, if you go to New York, if you go to Tampa, these are the things that, wow, WrestleMania is coming on this weekend. Great, let's rock.
And half the arena is from that town.
Right. You got Vegas. Vegas gets going on a fucking Tuesday, right? Vegas is popping on a Thursday afternoon. Vegas is always going. So to add a WrestleMania to Vegas, if Vegas was a person, was like, oh, that's cool. Little wrestling action? That's cool. It's not as big.
What's Las Vegas known for?
Gambling.
Yeah. You going to gamble in WWE?
You can't.
Yes, you can.
It's stupid.
I think they do.
But
it's
not
ridiculous
like
that that's
you would
allowed.
for the NCAA championship, not like you would the UFC,
Correct.
Not like you would for the Raiders, not like you
Super
would for
Bowl.
the Golden Knights.
Right.
It's a different level where it's like people are going out to Vegas to do degenerate stuff. It's awesome. God bless.
Do hood rat shit with my friends.
Doesn't make them bad people.
No.
The wrestling crew is not about that.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the difference is. But still, at the end of the day, you have some great stories going into this Mania, and you have the potential to branch off from all of these. The Cena storyline with Cody, untouchable. It could be a clean finish. Leave it alone. I am invested.
Yeah, but
The
it's felt
triple
so
threat
non-existent at this point now.
Which one?
Cody and Cena.
I disagree.
I disagree too.
Some of the best mic work of all time.
Yeah,
Ever.
but that was early on. Like now,
And then they got one more. They got a finale coming up this week.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Cena's advertised, and they're all there, so it's not like they got anything else better to do.
And here's the other thing that I really like going in. One, Punk getting his WrestleMania moment, his main event is great. Everything that we've spoken about since the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, I love that they're just like throwing little crumbs for us to follow, and we followed every one of them. We thought we had it, and we were wrong.
Yeah.
And they're throwing the crumbs for Seth Rollins right now, and this is what I'm most invested in that there's no way it's clean. There's no way there's not a heel turn and the end of night one, and you're not going into night two with a big blow off. It's not going to be Seth Rollins.
I got
to go with Heyman.
All right.
There's no way Heyman walks out with Roman, and there's no way Heyman works out with Punk.
Okay.
It's not going to be the Beast, which everyone wants it to be, but with the lawsuits going on.
No. I heard better things are developing with Mr. Brock, but that probably won't be. That's my pipe dream.
Sorry,
I'd always
fans?
that too. But what I
for his
think
teeth?
relax. So All right, let's just start there, right? You have the triple threat main event. I'm not going to go through every freaking match because there's just so much. But like in that one that we've been talking about at length, the triple threat, Roman, Seth, Punk. Heyman's coming out with Punk. What they left you with on Monday, which they won't even address any more of it on Friday. You got to leave it like that, right? Seth Rollins up top. 2 weeks in a row now, Seth Rollins has been on top. So therefore,
the memories of the steel chair.
Yeah, and the memory, that was great, by the way. But Seth Rollins on top 2 weeks in a row leads me to believe Seth has no goddamn chance to walk out of here the winner. That's just usually how it books. You know, if you give him a couple rubs on Monday night on Netflix and where he's the man right now, I just don't feel like he can win. The rub right now and the story going in is Paul Heyman, which is incredible to me, right? You got these three amazing athletes, three amazing over-popular wrestlers that we're all zeroed in on the wise man right now, which is crazy, right? It's good. It's great. Payne said it. The guy should be a fucking Emmy Award winner, right? My prediction now has shifted dramatically within this last week. I think the biggest fuck you to this match would be Heyman to turn on his best friend CM Punk and realign with his tribal chief. Now you have Roman the heel again, which again, does it matter, Tommy, if he's a heel or face? Nope. They're all doing the fucking ones, right? Don't matter. He's got the Stone Cold effect where it doesn't matter if he's babyface or heel. Music plays, you're on your feet, you're reacting. That's what they want. They don't care what you're doing.
The only time he gets booed is when they feel like he's being crammed down everybody's throat.
Correct. And that was way back in the day. But now I feel like Roman and Paul Heyman have the strategy behind it already. Notice how, like, if Roman really wanted to beat the shit out of Paul Heyman on Monday, he would have. But he mushed him.
Put his hands on him.
He mushed him. He mushed him, put him down, and then, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And then the kibosh, everybody fights. Seth Rollins is the one on top.
But how did he get there?
How did he get where?
To putting his hands on Heyman. Rollins got in his head.
Yeah, of course. Rollins is that guy. Rollins is the Joker. Rollins is the wild card in this whole thing.
And here's also what I love about this whole storyline is that Cody Rhodes predicted the whole thing last year.
Yeah, he's playing out in real time. It really is.
Leaving, Heyman leaving him. So now, and he put that thing on Instagram that he's alone. Like he let it slip through his hands, and he took blame on himself. He's like, I put too much pressure on Heyman. Not pressure, like I relied on him too much, and it should have been me. I should have had a better grasp on things. But still, even him saying that, it's Cody predicting everything. I
just think, like I said, if I had a gun to my head, I think that's the scenario that I would think would be the me get off my seat moment. Like, yes, look at this. This is great. That's what I think. Tommy, you have a prediction on the way this one plays out?
I still, just part of me still thinks he's going to end up with Rollins. It's not expected. People are going to hate it, and that's the point. They're going to boo him. Rollins was always better when he had somebody. His best work was with the Authority, right?
Yeah, I mean, was it? I mean, his in-ring work speaks for itself. He's one of the best.
I'm just talking about his overall, like the promos and everything.
Again, you would think that Heyman needs to go behind somebody who can't deliver a promo by themselves. Roman says very few words, but all the words mean something. Punk can talk your ear off for the rest of time. Does he really need a wise man? You don't need that shit. Seth Rollins is sounding very, very whiny every time he's out there. He's trying to be cynical and in your face and just that wild card. I don't think he needs Heyman.
No.
I think the only guy that needs Heyman out of this thing is Roman. Or there's a wild card here.
Jey?
Something else happens. Huh?
I think it's the wild
Jey?
card. I don't think it's Jey.
I think
Jey stays away from this unless they're setting up Roman Rock for SummerSlam. I don't see The Rock getting involved in anything this weekend. Like unless it's Cena and Cody. I don't see him getting involved in both nights. I think it's stupid for him to get involved in both nights. So it has to be just Cody and Cena.
Well, then that negates your 140,000 viewed thing where The Rock and Jey Uso. That's night one.
But with that, sorry for saying mediocre, you animals. All right? Take it easy on the kid. I'm from Brooklyn.
Meteoric.
I try to say something intelligent, and I mispronounced it. Take it easy. All right? Anywho.
They're telling a wrestling fan to take it easy. That's hilarious.
Anywho.
They're all sitting there like, oh, I'm going to get him again. Watch this.
That part of Jey, I don't think Jey gets involved with Roman. I think that bloodline storyline is out, and still think that there is the hook that Jey goes with it. By the way, the 20 thing blew me away. Someone wrote, like, that was awesome. And also Jey Uso bringing up Gunther's mom, just like The Rock brought up Mama Rhodes.
Oh, didn't realize that either.
Put that one down in the old note taker. Hey, you don't. But
That's
I don't.
in my next spreadsheet.
I don't think that
It's a mediocre one.
jerk off. Retards like the zoo. That's the other one.
Oh my God.
It's like Pain is
Pain is actually here, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit.
But you can't get that involved in that night. I think it's going to be something completely out of the blue. I think it's someone that's not involved, and that's why I wrote that list of people that are not in WrestleMania. And I fucking need
Brock comes out.
I need Karrion Kross to be
I won't be able to
involved in
perform on the wife. It'll already be done.
That's when you'll be cursing that you didn't go out there with Triller.
Yeah. Nah, you know what? I would have never went to Mania anyway, honestly. Even Josh Chernoff's coming back Saturday. Like, there's no Mania involvement this year. It's all GCW.
If anything, I think Solo has to get involved in something. I don't think it's going to be Randy Orton.
No, he's going to interfere in Fatu's match. That's what I mean. Like, that's the story. Those are the stories that I think are happening
not
after.
on it. Karrion Kross, Chelsea Green, Sami Zayn, Street Profits.
Sami Zayn, what happened to him? Why am I drawing a blank?
TV with KO.
Okay.
Motor City Machine Guns, DIY, Solo Sikoa, Sheamus, the Wyatt Six, which still makes no sense to me. Alexa Bliss being in there as well, coming back at a sick return, a really good showing an Elimination Chamber and gone, never heard of again after teasing with the Bray Wyatt jacket, and then she gets written off along with the Wyatt Six. Carmelo Hayes.
You would think there's 5 hours of television, 5.5 hours of television available per week, with Raw and SmackDown. How do you not find room for some of these guys?
What that means?
Carmelo Hayes was the #1 draft pick to SmackDown. He's not on WrestleMania.
But you know what that means?
Jesus
I
Christ.
need no show.
Oh, God, no. Please.
And
no.
The biggest thing.
Wait, I got the perfect name for one.
Not on
Shotgun Saturday Night.
The biggest one that not be on this card, which is beyond disrespectful, Chad Gable. Not on the card.
We're going to go there? We're going to do that?
He's not on the card. It's heartbreaking.
I'm not booked.
Yeah,
I'm not coming because I'm not
Just
booked.
because he
Come on,
got
Terry,
sick.
I'm not booked.
Just because he got sick when he was overseas, he had the doctor's note, and you slight the guy. It's beyond disrespectful.
No, I understand what you're saying, but there's somebody that resembles him. He also has a match against Rey Mysterio.
You need Buddy Murphy behind the mask?
No, yeah,
Going
Buddy
after Rey Mysterio's
Buddy
daughter?
Murphy.
They're bringing that back.
They fucking showed the goddamn tattoos, bro. It was horrible.
Buddy Murphy's?
No. Anyway.
Chad Gable's not El Grande Americano. It's absurd.
Yeah, it's blasphemy. So, fucking idiot. Whatchamacallit? What was I saying? All right, so we already kind of picked did you pick Rollins match? Like, who do you think's coming out with that?
I have no clue.
All right.
I can't.
Payne, what do you think? It sucks.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid, bro.
It's dumb, dude. It's fucking dumb. No build.
The part of me says you got to give Punk the win if it's his first main event. I want Punk to win that match.
Yeah.
And Rollins takes the pin because they're not going to let Punk pin Roman.
No, Roman's protected in this. Rollins has to be the gopher, unfortunately, but I think it's going to be Roman because Punk won't take the pin either. I think there's only one man to have his looking up at the lights, and that's going to be Seth Rollins. You mentioned El Grande Americano, or whatever the fuck his name is, taking on Rey Mysterio. That should be interesting.
I've been waiting for him to have a WrestleMania moment his whole career. I mean, it's
Hasn't
been
everybody?
years.
Hasn't
it's
everybody?
been years, and finally El Grande Americano gets the respect he deserves. It's more important than Punk, in my opinion, that he finally gets a WrestleMania.
You know that
moment.
mask is coming off before the
Oh,
end of
100%.
that match,
I think
right?
the mask is not only coming off, but it's going to be in celebration. I think he wins. And he's like, oh, thank you. And he has the mask in his
By the
hand with
way,
him.
the steel in the mask, I love.
First of all, why are we defying physics here? You're putting steel on your own face and then you're headbutting somebody. Guess what? That knocks you out too.
He's initiating the contact. It's completely different.
Oh, yeah. Tell that to my 6 registered concussions, you prick. Anyway, so let's go to Gunther and Jey Uso, right? We talked about it, this match in length. The promos have gotten very, very good. Gunther looked like he did deer in headlights 2 weeks ago, but then this past Monday, he looked like he was ready to fucking rock and roll and rage. So now it's really getting good. And then Jey Uso comes down and does the yeets and everything like that, getting everybody feel good moments. The whole he's still pissed off, but he wanted to have a fun time on Raw. This one can go either way, and I don't know, because I guess we can kind of piggyback with this one and Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton, because those are your 2 Rumble winners, right? Your 2 Rumble winners are Charlotte Flair and Jey Uso. Is there a possibility, do we live in a world, Tommy T, that both Royal Rumble winners lose?
Yes.
Will it happen?
I think that Tiffany Stratton definitely goes down. There's no way Charlotte loses.
Especially after all that bullshit, right? You did no, now you lose the belt.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that there's a swerve and we see Jey Uso being a heel. And that's the only way I'm comfortable with Jey Uso leaving with that belt, if he walks out as a heel.
Yeah, because to me, I always think about the ripple down effect when things happen.
Because
Meaning,
it's Kofi Mania Part 2 if he wins.
right? If Gunther loses, right? What do you do with? He's got to go on vacation, right? He has to come back, not repackage, but
I don't see him as a face. That's the other problem.
Well, I don't know, because there's sometimes that he does get a nice response, being that he is the throwback that he is, but there's never going to be an underdog story for Gunther, right? It's always going to be like, you're either going to be Brock Lesnar or you're going to be like, somebody like a Sheamus or something, or Drew McIntyre, where the fans can get behind you and you can have some amazing matches, but I don't know if you're ever going to be like, I don't know if Gunther can pull this off. You know what I mean? Like, so
he's so good at being evil.
He really is. He's a throwback.
Also, the stat that he said himself for his entire duration in the WWE and NXT, 80% of it has been a champion.
I know, that was a cool stat.
That's awesome.
Great stat. Definitely enjoying the Gunther heel run here, the menace that he is. Yeah, for me, it's like, if you defeat Gunther, what happens to Gunther? That's how I look at it. You can't look at it like, oh, I wonder who's going to be first in line for Jey Uso for a title match. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think no matter what, Gunther's 3-0 against Jey Uso. I think he goes 4-0. I'm all for, like you said, heel turn, champion, chef's kiss. Babyface just gets one over on the Russian, not the Russian, but you know what I'm talking about, the Rocky Ford reference. He gets one over on there and he does it for his people. I don't see it.
I think both matches need an elevated amount of violence.
That one's gonna be hard hitting. What do you got?
Well, Gunther, that's gonna be a bloody one, I think. Gunther and Jey, I think, is gonna be bloody. Is it no DQ?
I mean, it's a WrestleMania title match. You got to assume they're not going to throw anything out because of a DQ. So.
That's what I mean. So it's like, if it's no DQ, I think it's going to get bloody. Rhea and Charlotte could be good. I don't think it will.
Stratton
be.
and Charlotte, go ahead.
Or Stratton and Charlotte. I think that could be good, but I don't think that it will be, because I think Charlotte's a little bit, like we talked about, she's a little too emotional. Like, she's melting down on social media, for Christ's sake.
She don't deserve to
literally answering back assholes that she has no reason to have to answer back for. I did
like her tweet saying, I went out of character and I said something that I shouldn't have said, and that Chicago fans are smart.
Yeah, that was money.
Good, but
that
then
was
you
money.
had the one guy, talking about her facelifts, and then she responds.
As soon as these wrestlers respond to you, they lost. They lost. Their larger-than-life characters go down the shitter because they responded to the common fan who is talking about something aesthetically, right? Like, oh, man, your fucking left thigh is bigger than your right. And you're like, no, it's not. Like, and you lost. You lost already. That's it. You're done.
I'm triggered.
You're done. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think... I think that's... It's going to be a snooze fest, that one.
And then that's why I think it needs to be extremely violent.
I don't know if you can do that with Stratton.
But that's why. That's the only way that match is good. The only way.
Oh, your girl's not involved in WrestleMania in any way, shape, or form. Nia Jax.
And she was on my list too.
She's not like most girls, and she's not also booked for WrestleMania.
Which is another thing that's wild. She was a major part of every storyline.
Well, I'm okay with her not being booked, but that's just me.
Same, and I get it, but it's gnarly. I think for the way they left off on it and going into business for yourself, saying things that aren't scripted, good. Because I would not be invested in this match if they didn't do that. And it was perfect.
Fair.
And I loved it. And that's why the added element of violence to this is needed. And Stratton, she got smoked their first time on the mic. Then came back, said what she said. Holy shit, Charlotte's on her fucking heels. This is crazy. And now she needs to back that up with the ring, and they need to beat the shit out of each other.
I agree.
I don't care who wins after that, as long as they just beat the shit out of each other.
I agree. I agree that there's going to be it'll be hard hitting, but like Tommy said, that might be the one I say like, I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna go get a snack, and then just go up.
That's night one, right?
Yes, I want to say yes. It's night one. Now, flipping over to another match that I feel like is such an unfortunate throw together. It's going to deliver. It might even be the best match of both nights. I don't know.
Drew Damien.
Well, that one, if you want to start with that one, I feel like they got nothing. Those guys go from Damian cashed in, had his biggest moment of his life a year ago. Drew McIntyre won the title a year ago, got cashed in on, all that bullshit, right? Then the Punk stuff starts. So both of them were sent on a trajectory that was supposed to be really, really good. Now they come back full circle and they're wrestling each other in a street fight.
The writing.
McIntyre, first of all, has to win this.
Yes.
You can't
I don't think he
has to.
I can't remember the last match he's won.
I know, but if you lose the Priest, what's that do for everybody involved?
Priest cashed in on him, no?
Yeah, so that's has to be
threw him out of the Royal Rumble. And the whole thing that was about that was LA Knight going to business for himself. So not even that. It was like it fell on deaf ears because everything was about LA Knight in that. And then Priest eliminated him in the Elimination Chamber. Yeah. So when you look at that, it all makes sense. But it still doesn't. Specifically that Drew was chasing the bloodline the entire time and had a hate in his heart for all of them. And then it's just gone. He had a hate in his heart for Punk. He should be involved in that triple threat in some way, but he's not. That's where Drew should be.
Do you know he's not even on the fucking promotional poster?
Yeah.
And
this is the guy during the COVID era that
criminal,
was one of the best moments ever.
Criminal. They treated Drew like this. And again, I'm like 5.5 hours. How much can you cram? Drew McIntyre needs to be one of your best guys. And you know how many times that I was like not on board with this heel Drew McIntyre. I was like, it's not going to work.
I was loving it from jump.
From Jump Street, you were on him.
It was good. It was interesting.
And that's where I would like the wild card to be because I think Drew with Heyman and Drew coming in and finally flipping his shit if he does lose to Priest. He finally loses his mind, and that could be the wild card. That is something I would really like.
I would get invested
I
in that.
feel he has danced with every single person in that ring. He is more involved in that triple threat than anybody else on the card with Punk, with Rollins, and with Roman, the whole bloodline feud. He belongs there. Mm-hmm. And for him to come on in and finally break it down to Paul Heyman, like, Paul, what are these people giving you except stress and agita? Yeah. Paul Heyman with his white hair looking restless, right? Yeah. How much stress could this guy go through? Change it up and go with me.
Fair. But I think McIntyre needs to win. I don't think this is a spot for Priest to be, the victor and like, let's see what happens. Priest is a lost commodity to me right now. I don't know how you get that back. But the one match I wanted to talk about that didn't get enough burn that might actually take the shows, I say shows plural, meaning it might be that good, the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way.
Yes.
That one to me is the dark horse to steal the show. And you're going to think I don't know if you're going to think I'm crazy or whatever, but it's Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, Penta, and Dominic Mysterio. There's only one way to end this whole match. I'm in the mindset of thinking that Braun Breaker does not need the Intercontinental Championship to be the guy going forward, right? In fact, if he loses the championship, guess what? There's your next contender for the World Heavyweight Championship because Braun Breaker is that dude.
Co-sign all the above.
The one ending I want out of all of this is Finn Balor to pin Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
Has to, because I'm thinking there's been I don't know if you guys have caught a lot of this Too Sweet stuff and the Bullet Club stuff and all these references and, we don't want another member, I want another member. Like Judgment Day and Finn Balor have been on the outs for a while. Are we ready for Bullet Club? Are we ready for something like this? A Finn Balor-led thing, the Balor Club? Are we ready for something like this? I think this is a perfect time to pull trig, and everybody and their mothers are picking Penta to win this thing because he's red, piping hot, ready to rock. The entrance is great. He's the next big lucha. Like, we get all that. But I think it's too soon for him to win a championship right now. I understand he wants the Intercontinental Championship. Fine. This is Finn Balor's time, Tommy D. What do you think?
I agree with you. If they're not going to give it to Penta, I think he should just have it like that count's about to go, and then he gets screwed and pulled out. I get what you're saying with Finn. I want to see Braun keep it.
Of course, it makes sense, but I feel like if you want to make somebody, all they've been doing is watch Braun beat the shit out of people the last couple weeks.
When he did the Carlito, holy shit.
I mean, that's a viral moment for the rest of time. He's running 25 miles per hour. Imagine, I said this to Josh. I was like, imagine being Carlito. You have to just sit there and wait, and then brace yourself, and at the last minute, and
Don't die.
Right. And then you just get sawed in half. And then the double spear on Monday. Like, Braun has been built in this to be the fucking powerhouse. Nobody thinks he should lose type deal. But again, fatal four-way rules, one fall to a finish. Braun don't got to take the pin. Mysterio can. We could have a new Intercontinental Champion.
Everything you're saying, I agree with. I want that belt off of Braun. I said for the last 2 Royal Rumbles that I wanted Braun Breaker to win them.
He might win it next year. I mean, that's early prediction.
Yeah, that's why I don't think they pull it off him right now, because you're not going to throw him in that championship storyline now. So you're going to let him lose value and wade in the weeds.
Gunther or Jey Uso? You wouldn't want to see.
Can you imagine Braun? Maybe you can refresh my memory. Has there been a one-on-one interaction between Braun Breaker and Gunther?
Was there an NXT or they missed each other?
I think they missed each other.
But there's nothing on Raw. They never went one-on-one. You want to talk about a fucking match?
Send it.
Full fucking send it.
I want Fatu Braun before anything.
Same here.
I'm all for it, but again, different shows, different strokes for different folks, all this other bullshit.
It's Triple H.
Do we see? Because another thing that they teased.
I really wish they would stop with this brand split shit.
It stayed on the. It's always in the background. Not the Fiend. The Demon. Do we see a Demon Finn Balor?
No, not unannounced. I don't think. Like, if he's going to do Balor Club or anything like that, he's going to be normal. Finn had a fantastic match this past Monday.
Yes.
They put on a clinic, and I expected it, wholeheartedly expected that. Now you add more components to that. I think that match, honestly, might steal the whole weekend. I really do. I really feel good about that one.
I co-sign.
You know, so that's one of the other matches.
I would love to see Tama Tonga and Finn in a stable together again. I would really like that.
Cool, because you know what? Who knows how long this bloodline thing can be carried.
Is there a bloodline?
I think, yeah, there's always a bloodline. But like, to me, I feel like if things get nuts and you don't have a situation or a story, you can always go back to the bloodline. Because there's so many fucking members at this point that let's just go back to this. Let's go back to the lineage and the fucking high chief and this, that, and third. You can do all that stuff and it'll be fun. But yeah, Finn Balor time. I think he takes the Intercontinental Championship. Now, just trying to think off the top of my head. You mentioned Jacob Fatu LA Knight.
I like the build of that.
I
love him and Jacob.
Maybe I'm just not invested as much in SmackDown.
Braun fight forever. I really love that.
See, I told you that's what it is.
LA Knight.
You high?
Getting the.
I wish.
Your eyes are getting a little fucking squinty.
Yeah, because he just dropped.
Dropped the fucking nuke. And even he can't even do. He's like, holy shit.
LA Knight getting that belt.
Another one on
back
deck,
from
brother.
Shinsuke.
You fucking better do that shit outside.
LA Knight getting that belt back from Shinsuke. I like the build to it. I like Jacob getting teased with Solo and saying, you know what, I'm going to still go after that U.S. title. And he has a solo match on WrestleMania for a championship. I really like that match and that build. It's classic. It's there. I don't see an issue with that build like there is for everything else on the card.
Yeah, I mean, look, not every match. And again, I know we kind of started this whole show off today with saying like some of the matches just aren't being built right. And look, there might not be enough time to build all these matches. You're going to get some great wrestling. That's hands down. It's WrestleMania. Everybody brings their A game. Everybody's got the new gear, the new entrance, maybe new music, whatever. It's in Vegas. It doesn't get any bigger than this, right? WrestleMania is WrestleMania for a reason. It's the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. And then we get a fucking brand new start on Monday. Tommy T, who walks in to Monday Night Raw, the WWE champion? Is it Cody Rhodes or is it John Cena?
It is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, hands down.
You're fully convinced.
Fully committed to that. There's no way with it was like, oh, it's whatever you want to say, like, oh, it's lackluster. I loved what Triple H said with Andrew Schultz on that podcast, where he's like, Cody's selling all the merch. Every arena that he goes to, Cody's being cheered. Every entrance that you see, there's 19 kids in full Cody gear. Cody is that guy. Cody's gonna hold that.
Did you hear
belt.
him bury Ahmed Johnson?
Yes, I did.
That's the only clip I saw. I got to watch the whole thing.
Does not do him any favors with the rumors about him and how he feels about certain people. So,
oh boy,
Trips.
No. Protect
yourself.
We ain't going there. Yeah, sorry.
I'm just saying. It's neither here nor there.
Is that podcast free? I got to see that. Is that on YouTube?
I saw
or something?
the clips too. I
want to see the whole thing.
But The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes is your babyface for the next decade. He is that guy to hold on the company for the next decade. And if Cena is going to win the title to beat the record, he has to do it as a babyface. And I still feel something's going to happen. People are like, oh, this is the Empire Strikes Back. Last year was the New Hope. You got everything you needed. And this year, The Rock and Cena, the evil will prevail. I think it finishes like Return of the Jedi. And I think that it's The Rock beating the shit out of.
This is fucking Chinese to me. I don't know
what
any
he's
of
saying.
these.
Fucking comic book, Dan.
I don't know anything about Star
So what are you
Wars.
trying to say? The Rock goes
I
into
get laid.
carbonite?
The Rock goes in. The Rock has been the Emperor, right?
So he goes into.
controlling-
Oh, so he's the emperor. So who's
controlling
going into
things-
carbonite?
He's beating the shit out of.
He can't answer me.
Carbonite.
Can we stop?
He's beating the shit out of Cody Rhodes, and Cena finally realizes after a hard-fought battle, and you see the respect, and Cena gives him his notice, and you have Cody and Cena having an all-star epic match. Rock comes on in, beats up Cody, and it's like Darth Vader watching Luke get the shit out of him from the Emperor. And he, like you guys have said, like that 24, like he's a secret agent. I don't think he's a secret agent. I think that the never give up will prevail, and he will come back and help Cody, but Cody wins.
I'm a Darth Maul guy.
I'm with you on that too.
Yeah, very badass character. Shout out to Dustin Rhodes, who started rocking that kind of makeup. No, here's the thing. There was a poll, or not a poll, but a ranking of the top 30 WrestleMania matches of all time. It was done by WWE. Number 1 is Justified, and as I said it, I knew it would happen. Shawn Michaels Taker won. Number 3 on that list, if I'm not mistaken, was The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. Tommy D, refresh my memory. What happened in that match? Who walked in as the babyface?
Wait, which one? I'm sorry.
Rock Hogan.
Oh, so The Rock was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the babyface.
Cool. Who and the heel was Brother
yeah.
Hogan, right? Like coming out there.
They had,
NWO.
they had to call it audible.
They're calling an audible at WrestleMania this year too.
Double heel, double turn.
110%. I think that despite the build of being John Cena selling his soul and Cody Rhodes, a man of the people, and all this other crap, and look, the promo work and everything they've done leading up to this is perfect. It's Cena basically getting it all off his chest for the last 25 years or however long he's been there, right? I think the fan is going to forgive John Cena, and I think the fan wants to witness history at WrestleMania 41. The fans will start to cheer John Cena, and Cody Rhodes is going to be like, what the fuck is going on here?
They've been cheering John Cena until recently.
He's audible boos, and especially in Europe.
It goes pop boo. You know what I mean? Like it gets very exciting and then down. I think that happens at WrestleMania 41. I think that the crowd turns on Cody Rhodes and we get Cena's victory, 17th record-breaking championship. And I think that the spinner belt may or may not make an appearance on Monday Night Raw, right? I don't know how he wants to dial this up, but I guarantee you that run for Cena won't be long. He can say like, oh, I'm going to retire champion, blah, 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 but somebody's going to pick him off around SummerSlam-ish. But you're not going to have Cena win the belt in November, right?
No.
If you're going to have Cena win and break this record, his all-time record, has to happen now because you don't want this reign to be a long time, right? You just want it to be here's the record, you got the record, let's do it. John Cena wins the championship, and then you get picked off at SummerSlam by either A, Cody Rhodes again, avenging whatever, or B, guys, we haven't even addressed this, we will in a second. Who's your pick for the championship?
I'm going to stick with Cody.
Okay, so 2 Cody, 1 John.
I want to see your scenario, but I also don't. Like it's so good. It's so good.
Usually,
it's so good.
Usually, if it's so good, it never happens. But we've talked about this, so now we got 2 guys pulling for Cody here. I'm pulling for Cena, or at least that's what I want to see. There's no real rooting interest. I just want to see a great fucking match. But I do want to see the crowd. I want to see if Cody, and I know Cody's a pro's pro, but I want to see if Cody can adapt on the fly. Like, all right, you pieces of shit. Now you're booing me
Off of the bat. Does Cena get an applause on his entrance?
I think it's his last WrestleMania, guys.
So
I think there's a little iota of respect here, despite the fact that he's been angry with the crowd. This is his last WrestleMania ever performing. So yeah, if you're a wrestling fan, you better fucking cheer this guy.
And you know who I want to come out with him, so he doesn't get that cheer? Travis Scott. I don't want Cena to get cheered going in the way of the ring. I want him to stay as a heel. Because I don't want that scenario to happen. I want Cody Rhodes to get the champion's ovation. So I think if you
He'll
bring
get his ovation first.
But if you bring Cena out with Travis Scott, that's 1,000% getting booed.
No, I think you're just going to get crickets. I think you're going to get
You ain't
anything.
getting crickets, first of all.
With Travis Scott, I don't
Kendrick
think you're going to get
Lamar
anything.
slash Travis Scott.
Slash every other rapper ever.
Yeah.
No, I think I would love to see that play out. Now, one thing as we close the show, I'm looking at the time, closing the show, there's one guy we have not talked about. He does not
voices in my
have an opponent for WrestleMania. Is there a likelihood that there's either a debut, a re-debut, or just somebody on the roster?
Nick Aldis, please give me that match.
I would love for it to be Nick, but that turns Orton heel in the event that happens. So that I don't know if he wants to do that. I think this has to be. I'm starting to kick around the ideas of an Aleister Black, maybe if they want to have a grandiose entrance, have a great match, have it go whoever's way, doesn't matter where it goes. Maybe, you know what I found out? Crazy. Did you know that WrestleMania 41, both nights 1 and 2, both fall on Rusev Day? Did you hear about that?
You're right.
I know I'm right. So maybe it's a good way to reintroduce Rusev.
That's
into
the perfect way to celebrate Rusev Day.
I shit you not. That's one of the better ways I would spend Rusev Day. You can have a Rusev return. Is there a room for Brock? I don't think so. Right?
Room for Brock?
You got that? I don't know. I don't know. A smidge, just a small smidge of my
No
being.
one has gotten fucked more this year, last year than Randy Orton.
Dude.
CM Punk comes in your big return, and then John Cena turns heel in your
It's
other big
the
return.
running gag.
Yep.
You gotta give Randy a banger. You gotta give
And
him
I think they
something
will.
big,
And I
you gotta
think-
keep him as a face.
What if, listen, again, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. Okay. What if it's Kevin Owens? What if this injury isn't a thing? Like, have you seen anything like, has anybody ever faked an injury before to get up on somebody? Don't know. Right? You don't know.
Randy's dad was injured for years.
That poor guy's arm just never healed. Listen, again, I'm not a doctor. If Kevin Owens is dealing with a real injury, it sucks, and I hope to God he's back sooner rather than later, if at all, because I'm a huge Kevin Owens fan. But it would be very, very grandiose if all of a sudden some masked dude comes walking into the ring, starts beating the shit out of him, drops him with a stunner, takes the mask off, and it's Kevin fucking Owens, and they're like, "You son of a bitch!"
It'd be really cool to do something like that with Chad Gable too. Put a mask on him.
Such a cornball, dude. I can't wait. Payne's gonna watch the show like, bro, how many fucking times is Tommy T gonna talk about Americano?
Well,
Huh?
not the
How
same-
many times?
It's not the same person. I don't know
Right.
why you brought up Americano with Chad Gable, but it's
So, does anybody else have any grand ideas for Randy Orton?
I like Aldis, and Alistar was my other thing. And didn't Jericho just say he was walking away?
No, listen. If the Jericho thing happens, it's not going to be right away.
Dude,
Wait, Jericho's coming back?
No, but
Jericho
people.
just said openly that he's leaving AEW.
But so
Hi,
here-
guys!
So here's
Bye,
my thing.
guys!
Here's my thing with that.
Fuck. Jericho again?
Here's my thing with
Can you
that.
imagine the countdown to the millennium happens?
Yeah, but-
at Mania? I would.
Yeah, but Tony wouldn't let what's his name on TV?
Well, is he under contract?
Oh,
I know, but is Jericho under contract?
I really had to bounce.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know, but Jericho wouldn't be this year. If it happened, it would be next year, and
We'll see.
hopefully he came back as a manager.
So, you got a
and that's
guess
about
or
it.
no?
No, I have no guess. I'm going into
I
this
love
with no
it.
expectations.
I love it. No expectations, low expectations.
Nick Aldis.
Great expectations for WrestleMania 41. It goes down this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I really wish we could have got the boys together, but guess what? WWE decided to do it on Easter weekend, you sons of bitches. So I'll probably be home watching this shit from my couch. I know I'm going to enjoy it regardless. It's WrestleMania. It brings us all together. Fight Factory Wrestling. War on the Shore 2. We're almost at a significant number of tickets gone. First and second row gone already. Third row about 44% sold already. So please get on that as we announce on Friday our championship title match. And we will not say it here on the show because we're going to make you wait a couple more days. So for Dave Sturchio, Tommy D.
Oh,
Tommy
damn, you have
D.
me going there, man. What the fuck?
Oh my God. This has been another episode of the Fight Factory Wrestling Podcast. Shout out to Chris Payne and the family down in Disney World. We hope you're having a fucking amazing time, you prick. Good night, everybody.